Well, good morning, good afternoon, good midday, I should say, depending on where you are. We're so glad to have all of you with us today. With me is Dawn Thompson from Improving Birth, and this is Joy Burkhardt with 2020 Mom and the Mom Congress planning team. We're so glad you're on. We are recording today's session and wanted to open up everyone's lines. We just have a few folks on so far. There's about 8 of you, but we have about 40 people registered for this session and suspect that many of them will watch this Q&A chat and find us online. We'll also be putting this on the Mom Congress website later. So I'm first going to turn it over to Dawn to say hello, and then we have a few things we want to walk through today. We're going to open up your lines for questions and answers and just a nice casual chat. So welcome everyone. And Dawn, I'd love for you to say hello.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's great. Dawn, tell us a little bit about Improving Birth and why you are excited to be part of the Mom Congress planning team and the Mom Congress event in DC.
Sure. So Improving Birth is consumer advocacy working to improve maternity care in the United States. We've been around for 7 years now and working towards number 8. We hang in there. It's you know how it is running a nonprofit. It's never easy from a grassroots standpoint. But we are, participating in Mom Congress this year because I think that the thing that's become really clear is that legislation has a huge impact on change, and we can be changing the minds and the processes through other means, but also having it backed up by for legislation is really important. And so we've got fully on board with Advocacy Days. We participated last year as well, and this year we're just thrilled to partner with you guys.
That's great. Thanks, Dawn. I thought it'd be fun to show everyone who else is involved in Mom Congress this year, and also to share that this is the 4th event in DC that we've had. Some folks are wondering, is this what I went to, 2 years ago? 2020 Mom, who is the host of the Mom Congress Coalition of partners, including Dawn, and host of the actual event, has hosted this event this is our 4th year now in 2019. And so we're glad to be expanding this partnership with many organizations. You'll see those organizations here on the website. A few more are coming on board this week, and there's just much excitement brewing about partnership and ability to do this work together. What you won't see on the website in terms of partners are trade associations for providers, and we love moms who are providers and want moms who are providers to join us. What we feel like is really important, though, is that this event be limited to moms' voices and not provider needs. So we're not advocating for things that are important to providers, although we know that that's important for change as well. So you can see here many different organizations: Moms Rising, Postpartum Support International, Improving Birth, March of Dimes, Healthy Women, Every Mother Counts, and then several other what we call boutique brands or influencers: Motherhood Understood, Mama Mosaic. We have Shades of Blue, the nonprofit in Houston, Texas, that's doing really critical work for that community, which tends to be African American and low income. And so excited about Kay Matthews and her work there. Mama's Voices is a new coalition funded by Merck for Mothers to bring moms' voices to the table around maternal mortality and near miss. So just a really great group of what we again call influencers, boutique brands, and nonprofits. If you know others that want to join us, certainly everyone's welcome to be a partner and help promote the event. So we're going to start with, we'll open lines in a bit, but we're going to start with what we know you have questions about. And first, want to share that this event is for all moms. You are not expected to have any experience. In fact, you're expected to be scared if you've never done any kind of legislative visit, because you wouldn't be normal, right, if you weren't scared to death. I was scared to death the first time I did that in California and felt like I did it with a pro, and she was expecting a lot from me, and I was really nervous. So we first want you to know that nothing is expected of you. Especially if you haven't done this before. If you've done this before, we will lean on you to support new moms who haven't advocated before, and we'll talk about how teams are formed and how you can feel protected and safe, and really you are given as much as you want in terms of what you're willing to talk about and share when we actually have legislative visits. So if you don't want to talk at all, that's okay. This can be a time that you observe and you just say hello and introduce yourself. You don't have to do anything more than that. So we just want everyone to feel really safe and excited to be there. The only thing we ask is that you have a fire in your belly for change. And we know if you're on this call today or listening to the recording that you do. And that's why you're showing up, because you're interested and you know you want to be a part of change. Dawn, do you want to share anything about your first time doing some advocacy
Sure.
work? What it felt like?
Yeah. I mean, just hearing you is kind of making me giggle a little bit, because really the first time was when we went to Sacramento to work on the legislation for the maternal mental health stuff up in for here in California. And I had never done it before, and I was the only one from San Diego. And so I was going to all these meetings, and I literally had no idea what I was doing. You guys gave me a bunch of handouts and were like, go forth, and I was totally and completely unprepared. But I went, but I mostly just dropped off paperwork. I didn't realize that I should be having a conversation with the staffers that were at the front desk, So the advocacy day last year was huge. And quite honestly, I had never been somebody really that interested from a legislative standpoint.
In DC, right, Dawn? Because that's where you started to get.
No, when I first went was when we went to last year when we went to DC, and and I was still scared to death, and we had all these appointments set. But this time, what I loved about doing the advocacy day last year was that we were in teams. And so everybody that was from California all went together, and it was actually so much fun. And what was great was we went to, I think, 10 different visits, and we're, bouncing around the Capitol everywhere and going from one building to the next, from one appointment to the next, and just having a great time. And ultimately the response from the staffers in each of these offices was really great. They were really engaged. They wanted to know, they wanted to hear the stories that we were able to share. And I think it makes it easy, because that's it, is you get to share your stories. You get to share why you're getting behind this legislation. And so then it becomes easy. If you are passionate about making change in maternity care, it's easy, because you already have the story to tell.
That's great, Dawn. Thank you for that. And we're going to show all of you quickly where our frequently asked questions document is on the website. You can see that I'm scrolling. If you're looking at the screen, I'm scrolling on the website. We want you to be familiar with the website. And the FAQ is in a couple places, but right here, and hopefully everyone remembers what FAQ stands for. I didn't always know what it meant, but frequently asked questions. So I'm going to click on this FAQ right now, and we want to walk through these quickly and talk about a couple other things, and then we're going to open up the lines. But so we just covered this point. I've never advocated for change with policymakers, and the thought of doing so scares me to death. That's good, right? Because you should be nervous, because it is intimidating. And as long as you're interested in change, we want you here. So we've got you covered. So Dawn already talked a little bit about how this works. We actually put people in small groups by state or region. So if it's small states and we've got maybe one person from each state, we'll group you together and you'll go to your legislative visits together with a team leader. And what we want you to know is that the team leader will be trained on what our asks are. You do not have to be an expert. We want you to know about the bills, and we'll go over all of that on Monday, the first day of training, it's a 3-day event. Tuesday is the day that we go to the Hill, we call it, go to meet with our legislators. So you'll be put in a team with a team leader. You'll get to meet everyone before we go on Tuesday. You'll get to do a little practice session, and we have roles that each team leader will give to everyone, like who's going to be note taker. There's actually writing a thank you note. We'll ask someone to write a thank you note. So again, all of these things, you really get to pick what you feel comfortable with, and the team leader knows that no one should be pushed into doing something that they don't feel comfortable with. We want you to feel safe and secure and excited about going. You can read a little bit more here on the FAQs about what that will look like, but again, we make it safe. We also are doing an Advocacy 101 session in the morning for those that haven't come to a DC Hill Day event before and just want to get their bearings about how it's going to work and those kinds of things. It'll be a breakfast meeting, and it's kind of a nice time to meet other moms in that breakfast meeting on Monday. So second question, I care about the issues of the 2019 Mom Congress, which you can see here are improved medical and mental health care surrounding birth, and also better support in the postpartum period for moms. So really that perinatal period, we call it, right? Pregnancy and postpartum, and doing a whole lot more than what's happening now, right? And different levers, including the policy piece, and most importantly, the federal policy piece. So I care about those things, but what if I have more to say to my legislator? Is it okay? And so we've actually talked through this quite a bit with some others on the planning team. And folks really want you, if you're coming this way and you're paying for a flight or train ticket or driving a long way, we want you to be able to use this time in the best way you see fit. We just ask that when you tell your story, it's kept to 2 minutes or less, and that you focus on maternal child health. So we know a lot of mothers are sort of struggling with kids with special needs or mental health needs themselves. These are all things that make sense to share when you come to the Ledge Visit. We will focus our asks, though, on what the Mom Congress policy platform is. So focus the asks around the 2 to 3 pieces of legislation or buckets of legislation that you'll hear about in just a minute. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to open the lines again. And if you have a question now, before we open the lines, you're welcome to use the question feature and go to webinar in that control panel. It's usually a long rectangular box on the right side of your screen. Sometimes it's on the left, but open that up. There's a little triangle pointing to the right. Open that up and feel free to ask questions about that now if you have questions. Again, we're really just wanting to say, like, we want this to be valuable for you, and we know it's a big investment to get there. And we just ask that moms focus on maternal child health, mental health, physical health, those kinds of things. So next question, I'm worried about the cost of Mom Congress. The hotel is not cheap. Even though we've got a discounted rate that's pretty good at this great hotel that we'll be at for our daily activities, all of the training, the opening night soiree, everything's based in the hotel just to keep it convenient. So I'm worried about cost. What can I do? Hotel's not cheap. My flight might be $200 or more, my train ticket. How can I get there? And so what we're sharing here again is if you want to get there, we want to help you. And we'll figure out a way together. I know Crystal's on the line right now, and her email is here. We also have a letter that we're encouraging people to download. I'm going to show it to you right now on the website. You can see here, financial assistance. So if you click on financial assistance up here, you will see that there's a letter to download and share with potential sponsors in your community. So we're all trying to get creative. There isn't a scholarship fund this year. We hope that will change and that there will be sponsors that fund a scholarship fund next year as we continue to grow. But there's a letter here that everyone can download and bring to local community partners or corporations that support moms in your community, and ask for sponsorship. So the donation for sponsorship actually comes to Mom Congress or 2020 Mom, the host organization, and then we write off your expenses. Let's see, did it not pop up?
Look at your Windows thing down at the bottom. It's blinking your Windows because it's because your screen is open for the webinar.
All right. Well, Dawn is so sophisticated that I don't even see where it's blinking. But there we go. Open.
Down at the very bottom. Nope, that's not good. There you go. Nope, the Windows.
Many things at the bottom, and then a power. Right there. Dawn's saying right there. Thank you, Dawn. Is that it?
No, it was the Windows one, but that's okay.
You all should be able to download that letter, and let me know if you download it, if you're having trouble. There's a great letter there, and so we'll figure out if there's some kind of glitch on our end, but for whatever reason, it's not seeming to open for me. Great. We'll figure out what's going on. If anyone can try that and put it in the question feature for us, if you're able to open it, we'd love to see if anyone's having trouble opening that letter. Again, download this letter. You can see it on my screen. Click on that link and it should just pop open. We know some people are already using it, but something's happening on my end here.
No, it's because you have the webinar open, Jill. So your webinar takes precedence over anything on your computer. So it's not opening. It's there. It's open. So when you close this webinar, it'll be there.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Good. Well, hopefully you all can see it as well. Thanks, Dawn. So let's keep going. We also wanted to share what is included with the registration. That's a question. So you may have seen, some of you may have seen that we had a higher price point earlier and wanted to reduce the price point based off of some feedback from moms that they really want to come, but it seems high, and also what's included. So we reduced the registration rate, and $140 is the price. Early bird is $120. So it ends March 31st, early bird. We also will give all of you a discount code. If you haven't already registered today, you can just email me, joy@2020mom.org, and we'll send you the discount code. There are various discount codes that our partner organizations are promoting as well. If you don't have one handy, I will send you one. So essentially, if you register before March 31st, you can get here for under $100. And this is what's included, really just about every meal for the 3 days, starting in the evening. We have an opening night reception and soiree that includes a cocktail hour. There's also going to be non-alcoholic drinks. It's Cinco de Mayo, so we're planning on a margarita and beer and wine and a non-alcoholic festive drink, and also some appetizers that are Cinco de Mayo themed. It's going to be a really fun night and a great program that's shaping up. If you haven't poked around on the agenda yet, you'll want to. And the next morning we have breakfast and snacks all day, including a lunch that's sort of a Southern themed lunch. We don't have dinner covered that night, but we know people, if they're coming to DC, are going to want to go out and explore. There is one optional dinner buy-up that's a reasonably priced point that will be up on the website early next week. And it's a workshop that is being hosted by a boutique brand, WellSeek, that includes how to care for yourself so you can be the best mom possible. So a dinner and a workshop. They found a great location. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's just $25. So if you want a place to go and not have to figure out what to explore in DC, that option's available too, just $25, which is probably what you pay for a nice dinner out anyway, and you get a workshop. The next day, which is the Hill Day, is breakfast, and we have a briefing, a congressional briefing, which is really pretty cool, where congressional members will get to hear a briefing panel that we host with various speakers. That lunch is included even for Congress members, a boxed lunch. And then on Tuesday, if you can stay, we know some people will want to get home. If you can stay later, we're going to have a cocktail awards reception that night, and we're inviting legislators to join us for that reception. So quite a bit of food, right? That if in total, if you paid for all these things on your own, it would be more than the registration rate. And then we also have the stainless steel mugs for those who are among the first 2 in their state to register. I'm going to show you that mug because it's so cute. It's right there, right? And that will come in handy, I think, for the full 3 days. People will probably use those. That's what's included. And then, of course, great speakers, really great inspirational speakers. And, of course, the training we've already talked about. You can see here the speakers that we have listed are pretty remarkable. The New Jersey First Lady, we have Christy Turlington Burns from Every Mother Counts. I know some of you on the line are watching, know Christy well, and several other speakers in the lineup. Judge Glenda Hatchett, who is a TV personality, but also lost her daughter-in-law to childbirth in Los Angeles at a well-known hospital, a preventable death, everyone believes, will be speaking on that congressional panel. So lots of things included. Let's just go through a few more frequently asked questions, and then we're going to open up the lines. We also have here that there are extra costs potentially, like parking. We don't include travel from the hotel or train station. Everything's within walking distance, essentially. If you take the train and the congressional office is within walking distance. We also mentioned a corner bakery is just right around the corner from the hotel. There's a restaurant in the hotel or adjacent to the hotel. So pretty easy. There's also a great shopping area, Union Station, catty corner from the hotel. You just walk diagonally from the hotel entrance, and there's a mall, like great shops and sit-down restaurants, and also little counter-served restaurants, and kind of nice just to have some mom time to walk around by yourself, or even with your kids if you're going to bring kiddos, young kiddos. Somebody's saying, I'm asking for Mom Congress for Mother's Day. So we say, bravo, and if you can pull that off, because it is a little pricey, we think that's a great idea to ask for Mom Congress for a Mother's Day gift, especially if you've been through a horrible experience. Like, you deserve this, and don't be shy to ask for support from friends and family. What do I ask where? Yeah, Dawn, do you want to comment on that?
Well, I love that idea of we tend to not think of things like this as a gift, or like asking for it for ourselves from our partners, or like, this is really what I want for Mother's Day. Because, if there's one thing I feel the need to say, and it is that I think that we're disconnected more than we ever have been before because of social media. Before social media, we often got together in person for, like I think about for myself, my local birth network here in San Diego. We used to get together every month, and we would chat and we would talk. And these were women that had, my same drive and love for birth and pregnancy and women and, all these things. And that has dissipated since social media. And I think we're all really feeling this deep desire to connect again. And this is such a great opportunity to do that. I know that each time I'm tired when we go to events like this, but I'm also, my cup is just filled from that intimate connection with other people who are really passionate about making birth better for moms. And so, I think it's a gift to yourself to be able to attend something like this. And it's not only are you doing something for yourself and connecting, but you're now also trying to make a change. So it's like for me, it's a 2-for-1,
Yeah, that's beautiful, Dawn. Thank you. And it really is. And I think, you even hit on when you get to travel or walk around the hills of Capitol, or the halls, of Capitol Hill. There's something special, like you get to connect. And I know, Millie, you're on the line, and you remember just having that downtime that's really kind of fun and powerful, and to get to know people even in that sense is just so meaningful. Thank you for that, Dawn. You said it so beautifully, as you always do. We'll circle back. It sort of hits on the sort of fun aspect and social aspect too. Is like, what do I pack and wear, right? We always care about that. I want to make sure I'm dressed appropriately, not overdressed, underdressed, and how do I pack? So Sunday night is fun and festive, and we're saying, Cinco de Mayo, so you might wear something kind of Latin or flowery. You can wear jeans and a cute top or a beautiful dress, whatever you want to. It'll be fun and casual, but I think we'll see festive, right? But comfortable. So we know some people will just be coming off the plane and like rolling in. So, consider jeans and a little top that you traveled in. That's fine. Monday is casual. We're suggesting something like pants or jeans and a cute top again. You can wear a blazer, a little scarf if it might get chilly in the conference room, and flats. Tuesday, this is when we really do want you to, if you want to dress up a little bit more, it's Tuesday for our meetings. A blazer, nice pants or a skirt. We say get your walking shoes on, whatever those look like. You don't want to wear heels. We sort of joke about the video that's on social media that shows a woman walking up this Capitol steps in heels. That's all we could find for a video, but you wouldn't want to wear those for real. You would not want to wear those fancy heels, and it's not necessary or practical. So you can if you really want to, but bring some flats as well. And we do a lot of walking, so definitely little socks or some kind of liners for your shoes so you don't get blisters. Monday night, the night before the Hill Day, we're going to do a PJ movie night. I think, Crystal, I don't know if we put it up yet, but if we haven't, we've got some fun movies that we're suggesting in social media in the group, not the big Facebook page. So if you haven't joined the social media page on Facebook, that's the group. You can cast your vote or suggest another movie, and we're going to do PJs. So I'm actually going to buy myself a new pair of PJs instead of wearing the holy ones that I'm actually wearing right now that have donuts on them. I'm not going to wear these. I'm going to get myself a new pair of pajamas. So that's what we want you to hear about. We're going to show you one last thing and then open up the lines. You might be saying like, well, okay, what exactly? Are there already bills that have been introduced that we're going to advocate for? There's a link here on the website, if you're looking at my screen, that says what we're advocating for. And actually Monday is our large planning call. And we actually invite any of you, if you're interested in like sort of listening into this big, amazing coalition of these nonprofits and boutique brands and influencers. All of us are on doing this great work together. If you want to join us, we would welcome you. And actually, there's a few things we still need help with. Email me again, joy@2020mom.org, if you're interested. But what we're calling this sort of bill package that we're advocating for, which will include a couple of live asks. So we're going to say when we meet with legislators, these three things, two or three things are critically important to us. We'll also have a list of bills that we support. You can see some of these here on the screen about VA facilities and women's health around maternity care. We totally, of course, support this work and want to get these bill numbers in front of legislators too. This will be on a handout. There's also a diaper need bill about making sure low-income women have access to free diapers if they aren't. There's research that shows the diaper need link to depression, and if they're not able to care for their babies and clean diapers, right? There's a lot of important bills that we want to promote. On Monday, we're going to start to address at the large group planning call what bills exactly we want to support. And because of the government shutdown and the election year, things are coming in much later than they normally would. So this ask will change. And this sheet that you see now will be updated real time. But you can see here, still maternal mortality and quality measures. We know that hospitals and the federal association, or the federal agency rather, that oversees hospitals that receive federal dollars can do a lot more to prevent deaths, and that's important to us. We're going to advocate hard for those changes. There's also disparities among African American women, and we're seeing much higher infant and mother mortality rates, maternal mortality rates, death rates in African American populations, and all of us believe that is absolutely unacceptable. There's bills that are going to be addressing that. Dawn, I'd love for you to just quickly touch on the evidence-based care bills that are also likely to be introduced from Roybal Allard's office that we're going to be supporting.
Right, which is, why we're here. These are two bills that are currently, just drafts right now, but we're hoping they're going to be, the goal is that they'll be introduced just before our event. But essentially, they're two different mom bills. Maternity providers for maximizing optimal maternity outcomes. And if you look up Roybal Allard and maternity care, you'll find the previous documents that were out there. But it essentially is in requiring that we there's two things: that we improve the amount of providers, maternity care providers, and do some funding to help essentially gather more providers, and specifically probably midwives, to fill the gaps in care. And then the other one is best evidence for maximizing optimal maternity services. This is going to establish a committee that is focused on women's health and expand, enhance, and ensure the coordination of federal programs that impact maternal and infant health. So these will be, ideally, this is something that will get behind the mother-friendly hospital accreditation program, and or programs like it that will essentially give facilities funding to improve their outcomes and improve their evidence-based care processes within the hospital system.
That's great. Thanks, Dawn. We also want folks to know there is a maternal mental health bill, which we know many of you have passion about, that's brewing as well. And we should have more information in the next 2 weeks. And if anyone wants more insight about that bill, I'll tell you offline. You can email me again, joy@2020mom.org. One last thing we wanted to share is that we are doing a 3-for-1 promotion, I guess. It sounds like we're selling something. I guess we are, but it sounds like we're not talking about a conference. But basically, because we want mothers here and mothers who have a fire in their belly, we are actually inviting all of you today, and anyone else, especially those who've already registered, if you can bring in 3 more mothers and they use your name when they fill out the registration form as the person who referred them, there'll be a comp seat that you can take. So we would reimburse you for that seat that you already paid for, or we will use it to bring a low-income mother to DC. So we've got a few low-income mothers who have expressed interest. Again, we don't have a scholarship fund right now, but some folks are registering 3 mothers or encouraging 3 mothers to register, and they're using that person's name as a referral source, and then donating that free space to a low-income mother. You can do that. There's no reason why you couldn't also just ask for a reimbursement. All of this is really important. So we're just encouraging you to get involved in recruiting moms. I'm going to show you that there is a list here. It says Help Us Find Moms. Crystal's on the line. I don't think we've updated it yet today. And new registrations come in every day, as you know. But it will show you, if we were to look like Congress and have the same number of seats available as Congress does, so the same proportion, right? So depending on population, you'd see Alabama would have 4 moms, and we have 4 seats that we'd ideally fill from Alabama, but we don't have any Alabama moms. You can see Alaska, we need 1 mom, but we don't have someone from Alaska registered yet. Arizona, 4, no one from Arizona. California, 20, we have 12 people registered so far. Connecticut, we've got 2 out of the 3. So we're really would love your help scrolling through this list. Again, Help Us Find Moms. We'll update it again real time on, I think, Crystal, we're aiming to try to do it by like noon every day. But do take a look at this Help Us Find Moms link on the website. And then finally, we want to remind you that we've got social media platforms launched, not just on Facebook, but also we are on Twitter and Instagram. So please see these links and find us and follow and share. again, we're really looking to all of you as leaders in this space to help recruit. I'm going to open the lines now. We'd love for all of you, if anyone has questions. I see Paige and Marianne and Millie, you've been with us before, but several others, Casey, if you have questions. So here we go. I'm unmuting all of you. Give me a second. And if anyone has more questions or just wants to talk about what they're excited about, we would love for you to let us know. So good, you're all unmuted. Hopefully you don't hear any background noise. All right, there we go. Is it working? Unmute. All right, I'm going to manually unmute you all because it will not let me do it, it looks like. So if you have muted yourself manually, you'll have to unmute yourself, but I am Casey. If you want to unmute yourself, you can, or talk. Right now, your mic is open. Several of you are self-muted, it looks like. That's why we're having trouble. Probably have kiddos in the background. If you want to unmute your line, you can do it in the control panel. Also, feel free to use that question feature right now. If anyone has questions, how do you feel about today? And was this helpful? If you don't have a question, was this helpful? So again, use the question feature of the GoToWebinar control panel. And then several of you are self-muted. You can unmute yourself if you'd like. I think we might be in good shape here. There we go. There's somebody. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Tell us what you think. Any other questions you have? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm Marianne. I'm from Michigan, and it was interesting to see like the breakdown that you actually want. You want to mimic like the Congress. I didn't realize that was a goal. So I will do my best to recruit from Michigan.
Great. I'm pulling that up again. Thanks, Marianne. That would be great. Are you registered yet?
I am not. I need to. I just need to.
Yeah, right. I know, right. That's where all of us are, just sort of matter of time.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Marianne. Great. We're so excited that you will be registering. And yeah, we wanted to share this list because we know it does sort of help everyone to see, like, where do we need more moms? And the goal, of course, is because all of these, every state, of course, has representatives that will vote. And so the more we can get moms in their districts, right? Their constituents is what we call, what Congress calls people who live in their districts, the areas they support, the easier it is to get them to vote yes in support of this work. So thank you for pointing that out, that this is helpful, and you can use it to bring more moms in. That's awesome. Thanks, Marianne. Let's see, who else do we have? Anyone else brave enough to unmute their line and ask a question?
This is Casey. I don't have a question, but I want to echo Marianne's sentiment on the layout of moms from each state. I'm in Ohio, and I was kind of wondering if there was anyone else from Ohio that was going to join me. So that's good to see.
Yeah. Let me see. There we are. Ohio. So we've got 8 people. Yeah, Ohio's like bigger population than you would think. And then that must be you who's already registered, Casey, right there, the number 1.
No, I haven't registered yet, but like
you've got a partner in crime then. Good.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so one other thing we'll just share before we wrap up is that even if there's 2 of you from Ohio, you'll still have a team lead, and you probably put like 3 states together when you do your congressional meetings. So you're always going to be well cared for and, like, again, supported, and you won't be doing this alone. You'll have that great team leader who's done this work before. We've got several great team leaders already identified, and as soon as we've got that bill package locked down, we'll start to do our training with them. So so glad you attended, Casey. You too. Great. So I'm glad this list is helpful. Anyone else feel like they want to share anything before we wrap up? You can mute your own phone lines, or unmute, your own phone lines. And Paige, Paige, Paige just raised a question in the control panel. Let me just pull that up. Great. Oh, good. Paige is saying that she loved the information on the dress code and the effort to make the whole event seem very approachable. Oh, good. Thank you, Paige. That's the goal. And we appreciate your feedback on that. And just don't want anyone to be shy. That Facebook group, most of us are on Facebook, is really used for anything that you want to ask questions about. The main page, you use that too, but really the group is intimate and there's no silly question. You can email me at any time, joy@2020mom.org, Dawn.Thompson with an H at improvingbirth.org. We're both here to support you. And Crystal on our team, her information's on the FAQ if you want to outreach Crystal about her financial support. We're really interested, here's Crystal's email, in supporting all moms and all, moms from all walks of life. So thank you all for joining us today. And those who are listening to the recording retrospectively, this will be up on our website, the recording, and posted in social media this weekend likely, but for sure by Monday. So take a look and share the recording if you think it's helpful with anyone that's on the fence. With that, I think we'll wrap up. Dawn, thanks for joining me today, and everyone for taking time out of your busy day. It's going to be a great event. We can't wait to see you. Dawn, thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk soon, and can't wait to see you in DC.